Lieutenant Colonel Stephen P. Hulse will relinquish command to Lieutenant Colonel Mark D. Morgan. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation given by Marine Aviation Logistics Squadron 29 Chaplain, Lieutenant Martinez, Chaplain Corps, United States Navy.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, on this day we recognize the gift of leadership. Remind us as we gather together at this important ceremony that although times may change and people may come and go, your presence in our lives and in our work remains forever sure. We offer you our thanks for the professional leadership of Lieutenant Colonel Hulse as the commander of MALS 29 during these past 2 years and the direction and guidance he has provided to the Wolverines. We humbly ask your blessing upon Lieutenant Colonel Hulse and Lieutenant Colonel Morgan as they pass between them the guidance of command. As it passes, strengthen them both in the task to which you have called them. Go with Lieutenant Colonel Hulse and his wife Stacy as they prepare for their new assignments, and remain with Lieutenant Colonel Morgan as he and his family takes the mantle of leadership. Bless him with keen insights, firmness of character, and vision for the use of his talents. May the Wolverine Squadron be blessed with his leadership and his wisdom. And finally, Lord, give us the commitment to serve our new commander well, with energy, enthusiasm, and effectiveness. Thank you for your never-ending love, strength, courage, and guidance. Keys unlocking the full potential of this outstanding unit. We pray these things in your precious name. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. Now taking his post in the reviewing area is the Marine Aviation Logistics Squadron 29 Commanding Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Hulse. Now taking his post in the reviewing area is Lieutenant Colonel Mark D. Morgan. Marine Aviation Logistics Squadron 29 Sergeant Major Nathaniel J. Dreyer will now deliver the colors to the commanding officer. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the ceremony's most solemn moment, the actual passing of command. The battle colors of a Marine Corps unit symbolizes the authority and accountability of command. Transferring the colors during the ceremony symbolizes the relinquishing of command by Lieutenant Colonel Hulse, and by accepting the colors, Lieutenant Colonel Morgan accepts command and confirms his total commitment to the Marines and sailors that he will command. From Commandant Marine Corps to Lieutenant Colonel Stephen P. Hulse, effective 0800. You stand relieved as Commanding Officer of Marine Aviation Logistics Squadron 29 and will proceed and report to the Aviation Logistics Department, 2nd Marine Aircraft Group, Marine Corps Air Station, Cherry Point. Signed, David H. Berger, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant Marine Corps. From Commandant Marine Corps to Lieutenant Colonel Mark D. Morgan, effective 0800, 14 August 2020. You will assume command of Marine Aviation Logistics Squadron 29, Marine Aircraft Group 29, Marine Corps Air Station New River. Signed, David H. Berger, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant Marine Corps. Now taking his position is the Commanding Officer, Marine Aircraft Group 29, Colonel Robert B. Finneran. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Hulse will now report to the MAG 29 Commanding Officer. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting the Meritorious Service Medal, Gold Star in lieu of the 5th Award to Lieutenant Colonel Stephen P. Hulse, United States Marine Corps, for service as set forth in the following. For outstanding meritorious service as Commanding Officer, Marine Aviation Logistics Squadron 29, Marine Aircraft Group 29, 2nd Marine Aircraft Wing, from June of 2019 to August of 2020. Lieutenant Colonel Hulse's wisdom as an experienced aviation logistician, his disciplined enforcement of governing directives, and his determination to provide the highest quality aviation logistics support possible led directly to the execution of more than 15,000 flight hours and 9,000 sorties by 6 adjacent aircraft squadrons. He led over 700 Marines, managed and inventoried more than 23,000 aircraft component parts, and directed over 35,000 maintenance actions. He improved supply effectiveness rates, production rates, and aircraft readiness rates, thereby increasing the number of aircraft available to fly in support of 2nd Marine Aircraft Wing requirements. Under his command, Marine Aviation Logistics Squadron 29 supported 18 deployments, to include 2 Special Purpose Marine Air Ground Task Force in Honduras and 2 Marine Expeditionary Units with worldwide reach. In addition to support these global commitments, Lieutenant Colonel Hulse led the squadron in the support of several domestic training evolutions, including 2 iterations of the Weapons and Tactics Instructors Course, 3 iterations of Exercise Raven, Integrated Training Exercise 1 Tech 20, and Aviation Logistics Support Ship Exercise. Yet his commitment and unwavering support to the welfare of his Marines and their families has been the true hallmark of his command. Lieutenant Colonel Hulse's exceptional professionalism, personal initiative, and total dedication to duty reflected great credit upon him and were in the keeping of the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. For the President, K.S. Heckle, Major General, United States Marine Corps, Commanding General, 2nd Marine Aircraft Wing. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Hulse is now being escorted to the reviewing area to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Commanding Officer, MAG 29. United States Marine Corps Certificate of Commendation, Commanding General, 2nd Marine Aircraft Wing, 2nd Marine Expeditionary Force. Takes pleasure in commending Stacy M. Hulse, United States Marine Corps, for faithful and devoted service in support of the Commanding Officer, Marine Aviation Logistics Squadron 29. Stacy, as Stephen concludes a very successful command tour, I would like to take this opportunity to express the sincere appreciation of all the Marines and sailors in 2nd Marine Aircraft Wing for your unselfish, faithful, and devoted service in support of your husband, Marine Aviation Logistics Squadron 29, and to our Corps. Your support and understanding during many difficult circumstances helped to make possible your husband's lasting contribution to the Wolverines. It is therefore fitting that you be recognized for your contribution as a positive influence. The support you showed for the squadron's family through your time in service is also deeply appreciated and is a testament to your fine personal character. Thank you for your valuable dedication and support. Fair winds the following season. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commanding Officer of Marine Aircraft Group 29, Colonel Robert B. Finneran.
I would have used my big boy voice, but I didn't want to yell at you guys this morning. It's too nice a day. Hey, first of all, welcome, friends, families, General Cedar Home, Cedar Home. Thank you for joining us on an early start, so I know it's an even earlier start from Cherry Point, but truly honored to have you here on this great occasion. We've got this beautiful backdrop. I think 8 o'clock's the way to go. This is pretty nice. So, real quick, thanks for the 2nd Marine Band providing the quintet. You guys sound fantastic. And I start with them, one, because we just love the support and the pomp and circumstance that you bring to these formations, but also it kind of helps me get through what could have been an awkward start, right? So Steve's given up command about 11 months early. But the good news is the band's here. Okay, so that's good. You know, Steve this is a good news story. Steve is promoting himself out of command early to go on and do even bigger and better things working for the general. And we couldn't be happier for it because we get to benefit from it down here at both MAG 26 and MAG 29. To our leaders, Colonel Spade, Colonel Hulse's out there. It's great to see you again, Scott. Kind of funny, I think Steve's going to be your boss now. How things have flipped. But I'm going to first start by welcoming the Morgans, Mark, Tana. Welcome to the MAG 2019. It's been great to start to get to know you over the last couple weeks. You've got a great reputation. As you know, you're stepping into a great situation, and you're going to make it better. We welcome and we look forward to getting to know you over the next year that I'm here. And welcome, girls. It's great to have you here. Now to Steve. I just told him during the award ceremony that no words I'm going to say this morning will express the true gratitude I have for what he has brought to this MAG and what he's brought to me personally. But I'm going to start with kind of the funny part. So as I mentioned, Steve's promoting himself out of command. So I had the pleasure back in, I guess, December of notifying him that he was going to be a colonel in the Marine Corps. So I call him up, it's like 17:30. He's in his truck, heading back to New Bern. I said, you got a minute? Yes, sir. You know, and I said, hey, I just want to let you know you're going to be a colonel in the United States Marine Corps. I heard a swerve, a quick pause. He said, he might have used a few colorful words, and then said, is this real? You know, is this real? Are you having fun with me? I said, I will do that to you, brother. And it's funny, though, because this is how quick it processed for him. Elation went to deflation within about 30 seconds because he said, this is the greatest news. Wait a minute, am I going to have to give up command early? And I said, I don't know. I said, but you probably are. I said, I don't think they're going to let a colonel command MALS. And I say deflation because this man has spent an entire 3 decades for this moment to be the commander of a MALS. This was his penance. And I know how passionate he is about commanding this unit. I see it every day. It's funny. So I first met Steve and Stacy about 2 years ago at the commander's course. I'd never met him. We didn't know each other. Within about a minute or two, I knew we were going to work just fine together. Because immediately Steve shifted to, listen, I've been doing aviation, logistics, and maintenance for 3 decades, but I've never commanded. And he knew himself. And he said, I want to make sure I command this squadron. What can I do? And we started talking about kind of our command philosophies, and they synced right off the bat. This is a servant leader. And I knew it within minutes. And I knew, meeting Stacy, that this was a team. And they have shown that in spades over the last 13 months to what they have brought to this unit. This is an incredible command, led by Steve, but it goes deeper than that. The Wolverines of MALS 29 today is also about you and what you've accomplished in support of MAG 29. We talk about it all the time. There's 2 supporting efforts, now 3 with MWSS, but prior to that, we talked about it. Supporting effort number 1 and 2 is Steve and me. The MALS and the MAG headquarters. We are here to make sure that our operational squadrons are successful. And that's been our mantra, and that's what we do every day. Steve instills that in his staff and his team, and it's fun to see. It's fun to be around. It is, and so this is truly, we overuse it, but this is truly a bittersweet moment. The bitter is we're going to lose Steve. The sweet is he's going up to the wing where he's going to influence more than just MAG 29, the entire wing. And sir, I think you got a glimpse of that in his first meeting yesterday. This is a true force multiplier for this entire wing. And we are so grateful that you're not truly leaving this family. You're just moving on to a different aspect. You know, in a couple months, I think, you know, when you finally been on that well-deserved rank, you can, I think we talked about it, and even though you've been in the Marine Corps longer than me, you still have to listen to me. In a couple months, you won't have to listen to me anymore. So, that'll be great. But But this is a great day. I can't express in words how grateful I am for our friendship and the mentorship you provided me. You've forgotten more about aviation logistics and maintenance than any of us will ever know, but you never count us in. You were always there to help, and you're always there to teach and mentor. So again, just truly grateful. And again, to the Morgans, welcome. With that, I'll step aside and I'll hand the mic over to the former commander of MALS 29, Steve Hulse.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, General Cedarholm, Mrs. Cedarholm, Colonels, fellow commanders, Marines, sailors, Sergeants Major, Master Gunner Sergeants. Thank you for being here with us this morning and sharing this special day. And Colonel Penner was correct. It's not about me, it's not about Mark, it's about the Wolverines. I'm going to talk about them in just a minute. First, I would also like to thank the 2nd Marine Band for being here. You guys always make it a celebration, and I appreciate this particular event being a celebration. So thank you. There's so many people in my life that helped me get to where I am. And we would be here all day for me to thank every one of them. So I'm going to keep the list to the bare minimum. But I would like to thank some folks right off the bat. Colonel Penner, sir, thank you for your leadership. I appreciate so many things that you've done for not just me and the Wolverines, but MAG 29 as a whole. One thing in particular that means a lot to me, and I think I speak on behalf of the fellow commanders when I say, not only do you allow your 05 commanders to command, you insist on it. And that's not the way it is everywhere in the Marine Corps. Sometimes command is done from a level or two up, and that doesn't happen in MAG 39. Commanders have that opportunity to lead their Marines. And sir, I thank you for your leadership, and again, everything that you've done for the Wolverines. I'd like to thank Major Glenn Kelso, my executive officer. Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate the hard work. It's a thankless job, and I appreciate everything that you do for me personally and the Wolverines. I'd also like to thank Major Josh Jarvie. He couldn't be here today. He was my executive officer for most of my tour. He was shipped out to Marine Corps Base Hawaii. So thank you, Major Darby, if you're out there in the internet land. I appreciate all the hard work that you've done. I can't, in words, thank Sergeant Major Dreyer enough for the things that he has done for not just the Wolverines, but me. Sergeant Major, we're front row. I feel so inadequate just saying thank you. Your sage advice, your wise counsel has helped lead the Wolverines where they are today. It meant a lot to me personally. I wanted and needed to know what you had to say, and I appreciate you injecting into the situation when I was thoughtless and didn't ask what you had to say. I've had the good fortune over many decades of the Marine Corps to see it and experience a lot of sergeants majors, and I can tell you, you're at the top of that list. You are a rising star in the sergeant major world, and I can't wait to see what's next for you. My recommendation for anyone at the 06 level who's looking for Sergeant Major, he's sitting right here. Sergeant Major, thank you. I appreciate everything you've done for me and the Wolverines. I would also like to thank my wife, Stacy. I appreciate everything that you've done for me and our family and the Wolverines. You covered all three in exemplary fashion. You've marched alongside me through our journey in the Marine Corps for many, many years. And we stayed side by side through the rough times and the good times. And I would have stumbled if it wasn't for you being there to support me and our family, and I appreciate that. On behalf of the Wolverines, I say thank you for everything you've done for the squadron. For those that don't know, Stacy started a spouse page, which we didn't have. The Wolverine Facebook page was huge. We didn't really even know who was on it, who was reading it, watching it. Stacy took it upon herself to start a brand new Facebook page that only let spouses on there. She would authenticate. And what that did was allow the spouses to have a venue to ask questions. Most spouses have questions but don't want to ask them in big venues. And she provided a venue for young spouses to ask questions that they needed answers to and felt comfortable asking. And all of the events that you put together to get people and spouses in the same room, that made a huge difference on not just the spouses, but the morale and welfare of all the Marines who served in the squadron. I thank you for doing that on behalf of the Wolverines. I love you, you're my soulmate, and I look forward to our next adventure in the Marine Corps. Thanks, baby. Now, for who it's really about. For the Wolverines that are in this room, and for the Wolverines who are not here, because of adjusted posture and many other things that are starting to become normal now. You not only exceeded every expectation that I had for you, you've been the pride of my Marine Corps career. To serve alongside you has been the pinnacle of that career. I could not be more proud when I heard from other commanders what you as Wolverines did in support of global operations, in support of operations here in the continental United States, and what you've done on this flight line. My chest swelled up with pride every time I got an email or a phone call from a commander and said, hey man, let me tell you what your Wolverines did. It doesn't get any better than that. And you rose to the occasion every time. And I know that you'll continue to do that in the future. I am a little bit disappointed in the virus world that we live in today, because I feel like it took some of the time that I thrive on spending with you. It took away our formations, it took away our squadron PT, it took away our warrior chow and all the fun things that we do, the time that I get to spend with all of you. And for that, I wish that was not the case. But know that even though those things got set aside temporarily, my thoughts were with you. I injected myself in your spaces so that I could just make contact with you and see how you were doing. But my number one priority was you and spending time with you. And I regret that I lost out on a little bit of that time in recent months. But I ask that you carry on, march on, because great things are going to happen. This is going to get behind us, and you're going to be able to get together as a team again. So thank you to the Wolverines. Mark, Tana, welcome to the Wolverine family. And honestly, I would trade places with you in a heartbeat. I sat right where you sat a year or so ago, and I remember day one of being a 05 commander. It was the proudest day in my Marine Corps career, and I know you must be filled with it. My parting shot for you would be relish it. Relish every day of it. Don't wish the end of any day, because it's going to come to an end before you know it. And I can assure you that when you look back on your career, you're going to look back at your time as the MALS 29 commanding officer, and I'm willing to bet you that you're going to believe that that is the best time that you've had in the entire Marine Corps. It all is about this time. So welcome, congratulations on command, well deserved. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the new commanding officer of MALS 29, Lieutenant Colonel Mark Morgan.
Thanks, Steve. Major General Cedar Home, Mrs. Cedar Home, Colonel Finneran, fellow CEOs, Sergeant Majors, distinguished guests, friends, family, welcome and thank you for attending. It's kind of ironic that I'm taking over the Wolverines being an Ohio State fan. But I'm eager and looking forward to this opportunity. First and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity, for without Him in my life, this certainly wouldn't be possible. Second, goes to my family, Tana, Cadence, McKenna, Soleil. Looking forward to this incredible adventure together. Thank you for the support over all the years. Second, or third, rather, I just want to let Steve know that I appreciate you. This has been my career goal, of course, and I know you've turned over a the squadron that's operating on all cylinders, and I look forward to taking the lead here and continuing what you started. To Steve and Stacy, thank you for a gracious welcome to the Wolverine family. I know that just by serving and meeting the Marines that you've started something great here, and I plan to continue that. Me and Tana plan to continue that. Hopefully, after this COVID thing is over, we'll continue all the social and stuff, and building the family here in the Wolverines. So thank you. Lastly, Marines, sailors, civilians of MALS 29, I'm humbled and excited to be your leader. I look forward to leading and serving you over the next couple of years. Thank you. Simplify us.
Hulse's wife, Stacy, on behalf of MALS 29, Godspeed, and may your lives be ever so blessed. Flowers are also being presented to Lieutenant Colonel Morgan's wife, Tana. Congratulations, and welcome to the Wolverine family. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of Anchors Away and the Marines Hymn. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. On behalf of the Marines and sailors of Marine Aviation Logistics Squadron 29, thank you for your attendance.